this video, I'll show you how to clean up the profile page in Microsoft Power Pages website. So, a while back, I have posted a video whereby I cleaned the profile page available within the Microsoft Power Pages website. Now, based on the comment received from one of the users, so the user named as Michael Jensen, he mentions that can you show me how to edit the left part with the links regarding security? So, what does that mean is like if you navigate to your profile page, so this is the by default profile page which is available. So, in that video, I have shown you how to basically remove this content, how to basically edit this content. Like if you want to keep some relevant field and don't want to show all the fields, so that can be done. And in that video, I've shown how to remove this marketing options panel as well. Okay, but the only part which was remaining in that video is like I did show you how to get rid of this section. So if you want to get rid of either this section or this section, or maybe a combination of this entire thing, how can we get rid of that? Now there is no straightforward way through which we can remove it, but then we may need to make use of jQuery for that. Okay, so the goal is basically from this page to this page. So I want this panel to be gone, so that I do not want my user to set the password or change an email or manage external authentication, which doesn't make sense if it's just like a general user who would just like to see the profile based information. So how do we go ahead and do that? So first thing what we need to do is like identify the page. So the page is profile, so the page name is profile page. So what we can do is we go into the design studio and then navigate to Power Pages management. So what it will do, it will open the model driven app which is in the backend of Power Pages site, which manages through which we can manage all the web pages. So if I navigate to web page, then there will be a lot of web pages depending on like the website which you have created within your tenant. So in quick find, just type in profile and then you will be able to find the profile page for a specific site. So for me, it's a site name is Zagreb. I'll click on profile. I'll navigate to the profile page. So it will take me to the web page information or the content page. So as you see over here, this is the web page information. In the localized content, I'll click on profile. Now, as you see over here, when I click on profile, I get to see a lot of options over here, right? So if you scroll down here, you will see something called as copy HTML. Now the text which you see over here, this one, please provide some information about yourself. So as you see over here, this is that same text. So if you want to edit this text or completely get rid of this, you can just take off that HTML and then this text will disappear from the screen. So let me do one thing. Let me remove this. Okay. So if I click on save, and once you click on save, make sure that it is saved completely. And once it is saved, you just need to go ahead and sync the site. And we'll go into the website, and once it is synced, this particular content, the highlighted content, should disappear from the screen. It might take a while because the synchronization might take some time for this content to disappear. So you may need to do a couple of refresh, and once it is all saved in the backend, this information will just disappear from the page. So the goal for us is to like remove this left panel. Okay, now we have made use of that page to remove this content, and within that same page what we can do is uh, we can basically write a jQuery to remove the content. So let me see if that content is synced. Yes, the looks like the content is synced. So now as you see over here, this content is gone. Okay, so we know this is the correct page for which us to edit this content. Okay, so going back to this page, we may need to write some sort of a jQuery. Now, how to write a jQuery is very simple. Let me zoom this a bit. So the syntax is basically it's a JavaScript, right? So I'll just first enclose the code in the script tag. Okay, then what I'm going to do, I'm going to use the jQuery syntax. Okay, so if you are not familiar with jQuery, just assume that like this is a simple syntax through which you can uh, make some changes within the rendered content HTML. So you put a dollar sign, and in the bracket you just write document, because you take the reference of the document, and once it is ready, execute the function. So ready and function, and that function, put an open and close curly braces, and this is your logic basically through execute that function. So make sure that you put a semicolon over here, and all the logic will go over here. Now you just need to write one or two piece of code, that's it. Okay, so first take a reference, so you put a dollar sign, then opening and closing bracket, and you just say dot hide, and put a function, and that's it. Okay, now what to put inside this? So okay, what are you exactly hiding? So going back to the profile page, let's make use of the developer tool. So first let's do one thing. Let me put, like, go into the navigate to the developer tool. So I'll just put press F12, and here I will be able to see all the developer tools items. So I'll just select. Okay, so first I'll just click on this icon, which is a selecting an element, and I will just navigate to this particular block. Okay, so let me click on this block. Now you select here and you select this particular block. Now, as you select over here on the code, here you will see div class equal to card header. So if I select this, this is that card header. If I select this div class equal to card space nav profile, this is that block. Okay, so let's hide this component. Now what do we want to hide? The div, the class is card, and then the space nav hyphen profile. Okay, so how do we write in jQuery to reference this? Is we say first find that div with the class as card nav dash profile. Okay, so there are two items within the class. So to write that, let me go back to this code over here. We just copy this first. If you want to copy, you can copy the content from here. So I'll just copy this, and I can copy the element. Okay, so it will copy the entire code, so it's not copying the element. So let me just copy selector. So I have just copied the selector, okay, just to take the syntax. Okay, so this is what I'm interested in. So what we need to do is, like we said, div dot card dot nav profile. Okay, so just copy this part and put it here. Make sure that you put it within the single quotes, and we can get rid of this content. So what we have done, we have gone into the profile page, we have selected that div, and when you select that div, the content to hide is shown on over here. So you just right click and say copy, and then copy the selector. And once you copy the selector, you will get a piece of code which is basically div.card.nav-profile.hide. And once you do that, you will be able to put that in the jQuery. Okay, so let's do one thing. Let's click on save. And once it is saved, let me sync the content. And I'll click on refresh. So technically what should happen is, like, this page should load as it is. And once that jQuery is run, this particular section should disappear from the screen, because what essentially we're telling the jQuery is to hide this particular panel. Now, how to find that panel is first to identify the div, identify the class. Once you get the context of the element, you just run a function to hide it. And now, as you see over here, we have successfully hidden that particular component. Now, there's one more component which we may need to hide. So this is that profile one, right? So how do we get hold of that? So again, going back to the developer tool and selecting this particular panel. Okay. So if I select over here, so as you see over here, this profile panel is selected. Now, if you closely watch that, it says div.weblinks dash depth dash one dot weblinks dot list dash group, right? So that's a selector. So again, come back here, copy, copy the selector, go to your code somewhere here outside, just this is just your work area, you just paste it, and we are interested in, so let me go over here. So so let me take this off. I think we have just copied something wrong over here. So just go over here, it's a web links dash depth one web links list group. Okay, so we can copy whatever we want, like JS path or styles or X path, and then we can put it in, say, some notepad or any other option items, right? Like say editor of our choice. So the goal is basically to again look into this class and form our own code. So the code is basically, this is a div. So div dot web links dash depth dash one dot web links dot list dash group. Okay, so going back here, again, we just want to hide the nav profile, so we'll keep that as it is. Put a dollar sign in single quotes dot hide, right? And the code which we are going to basically paste is, it's with me over here, so I'll just paste this here. So it's div.weblink dash depth one dot weblinks dot list group. So make sure that you put dot on every instance. So first find the div, then find the first class, then dot, then find the second class, and then it will reference the correct item. Once you're done with it, click on save. And once it is saved, sync the site. So what we have done is we have gone into the profile page, which is the default profile page available out of the box. We went into the copy HTML section, and we have written a jQuery. jQuery is basically referencing the HTML element div, and it is finding the div with the specified class, and whatever div it finds with that specified class, it will hide that div. So if I refresh this now, this profile section should disappear from the page. So like this, you can basically make changes to any of your Power Pages site. So if there are things which cannot be hidden or shown with the help of some, say, content snippet or direct properties edit, then you can make use of jQuery to basically amend or alter the HTML content which is displayed on the screen. So as you see over here, after this refresh, this particular section is gone. So this is how you basically use jQuery to get rid of unwanted elements within your web page. So thanks for watching, and thanks Michael Jensen for the question. So now we have completely uh, got rid of the left panel which shows the security based information in the Power Pages profile page. Thanks for watching.